everyone, welcome back to QSR Nation, your weekly source of food service marketing and business strategies for success. Here are your hosts, Josh, Beth, Tony, and Grant from the PFS Brands National Headquarters in Holt Summit, Missouri.
Welcome back to QSR Nation as we continue our discussion with Karen Carson.
I know we've seen that in our Champs Chicken brands and our Cooper's Express stuff too, or you've got varying vendors out there that want to offer you a product for even maybe a less investment, but if it doesn't meet the quality standards, you just don't. That's not a good investment. Even if it saves money on the front end, it's just not a good idea to sacrifice quality.
You have to have the consistency and the quality 100% of the time.
Yep.
100% of the time. And people who understand that it has to be that way also 100% of the time. Who are those people that understand? Because, as a franchisee, you can't wait on every customer, right? So you've got to rely on the best people to ensure and understand the importance of that consistency day in and day out.
Yep, and then you look for increasing your profitability with other efficiencies, as you said very well.
Okay. Thank you.
So what role do you think that the brand engagement with the local communities plays to support sustainable and profitable growth for the franchises?
Community engagement, I think, is a very essential part of being a franchisee. Your community, I think the community wants to see whoever you say you are as a brand, whether you're, fast, hot, fresh, whether you're, committed to doing community activities. They want to see your values or what you bring to the table, not just when they come into your location, in your restaurant. They want to see you out into the community. And so how do you find out about activities that you could participate in? And they may be providing some lunches or breakfasts, meals. It could be just showing up and participating in a community activity. It could be going to local council sessions, city government. But people need to know who you are, why you're in the community, what you offer to the community, and what you give back to the community. And also, your location, from that curb appeal, you want to make sure that it's a beacon in the community. It's clean, it's bright, it's well maintained. Even so much, you're so meticulous that, you look for trash a block in one direction and a block in the other direction that might be yours, but you clean it up even though it's not on your property. And so they know that this is a brand that we love having in our community, and we love when they come out of their doors and come out here and spend time with us.
Yeah, that's awesome. Advice, yeah. And when you have that type of commitment, you really create some loyalty within your community so that as competition moves in, or even if someone else rebrands or refreshes a store down the road, if your commitment to the community, whether just in the presence, but also in engaging with school activities and working with some of maybe local boys and girls clubs, those local charities, all of that can really help retain folks.
Oh, absolutely. Sponsoring a Little League team and putting your sign up out on the field. I worked with one franchisee. The local town was going to their local theater that had been there for 50 years was in really bad disrepair, and he participated in helping bringing that local theater back alive so that people could have a place to go and see movies. And then, your different festivals that you might have that might come to your area, whether it's a big city or even in a small town. If you can participate in those things, people really appreciate it, and they remember that you were there and that you participated. I'll share a story with you if I could real quick. I was working and living in Los Angeles during the 1992 riots, and there were 26 McDonald's in and around the affected area, and not one of them was set on fire like all those other businesses.
Yeah. Wow.
And when we really did the research out in the marketplace, we found it was because that customer loyalty that they had to McDonald's.
Wow. That's impressive.
Wow.
Yeah, it just shows that personal touch really goes a long way.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's a really extreme example, but it was one that we learned when we were going through all of that.
Well, and it's, there's so many times where you don't have to do a huge investment whenever you're trying to get back into these communities, but it's just something, like you said, that's going to have that personal touch and it's going to reach the most impact. So just find whatever is unique in your area just to make sure that you can get that personal touch, and they can find out and they can figure out that your business does mean something and that they have a special place in their community and in their heart, that you can go back in there and they're going to have that dependability and that loyalty that most customers are looking for in a business.
Oh, absolutely. And even inside, when people come in, sometimes we have, I think the group, we call them the coffee clutch. They have their regular spot where they like to sit and solve the world problems in the morning and have their coffee and their breakfast or whatever. And even, I've seen franchisees put a reserve sign for, and whatever that group name is, just that little small thing there can make a big difference.
Exactly. Yeah, we always talk about, there's a lot of our Champs customers that always talk about that, and they're like, we love it whenever they come in for our breakfast program. We know that every single morning at 6 o'clock they're going to be there every day. So
yeah,
it's their favorite customers. So just maybe the next question would be, in locations that are struggling with just generating some positive same-store sales, what are some of your tips and the things that you look for that might be key drivers of growth stagnation?
I would ask myself the hard question first on that, and I would say, am I still in the best location? Because, as there's so much growth around the U.S., people retiring in different places, people relocating their brands to other locations, I would say, ask myself first, am I still in the best location? And then from there, I have to do a self-check on my operations. Am I maximizing everything? Am I putting the right number of people on during the peak periods, whether it's lunch or breakfast, to get that throughput and to capture all of those customers? Am I doing all of those things? Why are my sales down? And then, you might need to go out and do some questing and go out and visit your competition. What are they doing? If it seems like there's more going on during the peak period at their location than at yours, then go over there and see what's happening with that. And you might visit 2 or 3 of your competitors to see if they're doing something different. Take note, and then what can you come back and reinvigorate if it needs something like that in your particular location to bring people back in. I've even gone so far as to go in a competitor and ask the customer, how come you didn't go across the street today? And they'll tell you why they didn't go across the street. And you may learn some things about your business that you maybe didn't know or didn't realize the impact it was having on your sales and guest count growth.
Exactly. I think so many people are jumping to the whole point of, nope, I just need to cut my prices. That's the reason why no one's coming in there. But it could just be as simple as just basic in-store execution or just the customer service aspect. And just getting out there and getting that information is key to making sure that you're going to have a profitable business in the future.
Yeah, because I think prices, it's one component, but it's not the component.
Exactly.
I mean, there are QSRs out there that have a $5 item and people pay for it. So, you're bringing them in, but, for that type of an item. So price is just, it's one component of it. You got to give them the whole package on delivering to them every time. Because if you think about it, when they come today, you're really selling them for the next visit. Right?
Yep.
Because, they're there today, they're going to buy it, they're going to experience you, but you're really selling them up if I want to come back again.
That's 100% correct.
Yeah. Now, Karen, this has been a great conversation so far. And as we kind of wrap it up here, if anybody wants to reach out to you and learn more about QSR Experts LLC, where can they reach out to you and contact you at?
Oh, thank you. www.qsrexperts.com.
All right, great. And we will include a link to that on this podcast so people can easily reach you guys and learn more about you.
Thank you so much to all of you, and have a wonderful day.
Thanks very much, Karen. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take care.
And for all of our listeners today, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.
Today's episode is brought to you by KitDel, your premier kitchen and deli experts. Visit them at kitdel.com. Be sure to stop by next week for another episode of QSR Nation. And be sure to check us out online at pfsbrands.com/podcast.